lady. Hey, I got a lady. Hey, name is the upper echelon, she a debater, baby. She can give it to you straight, no chaser. She got the smarts, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated, stupid can't play with smart. She got the smart, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated, stupid can't play with smart. Hey, I got a lady. Hey, I got a lady. Hey, name is the upper echelon, she a debater, baby. She can give it to you straight, no chaser. She got the smarts, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated, stupid can't play with smart. She got the smart, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated, stupid can't play with smart.
Good morning. Welcome in. Make sure that you all hit that like button on your way in. If you're here and you don't know me, just give me a chance and subscribe to my channel. I plan on bringing you guys a whole lot of new content. And of course, you know that I'm covering the Romika Meeks case, so I'll be bringing updates about that case as well. Make sure that you guys go ahead and hit that like button. I do have a small goal set today. I see Philly Girl Juice has already helped me towards reaching my goal. I appreciate you, Philly Girl. She says, always come with the facts. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. We're going to hop into this case that I've been following somewhat. I kind of fell off of following this case. I was watching it when it first occurred about 2 years ago. The case of William J. Brock and Lo-Letha Hall. We're going to get into what happened with that case, okay? And just recently, I want to say on Monday, the trial has begun, y'all. The trial has begun. But before we get into what's going on with the trial, I do want to break down what the case is about and what happened in this case. Is actually crazy, okay? How this poor woman ended up losing her life to craziness, you all. When I break this story down from the beginning, y'all are gonna be like, what the heck? It sounds like something out of a thriller movie. I've never heard of anything like. I was reading some articles last night, really trying to get caught up on what's going on at this point, because the gentleman who is the defendant, okay, the one who took Miss Lo-Letha's life, is now on trial. To my understanding, he was released on bail pre-trial. So we're gonna get into it, but before that, I do want to recognize everybody who's come in. Common Collective, shout out to you for that super sticker. You always come in with the support. I appreciate that so much. Let's see who's here. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you with that copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. What's going on, KB Mommy? Good morning. Good morning, Robin Lotz. Hey, T Mill, Twin Mommy. I can't read the Hoytish. I'm just gonna call you Miss Harris. Miss Harris is in here. Treasure Life, good morning. Forever Blessed. She be super. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for that, Philly girl. Natasha Smith, good morning. Queen Sag, good morning. Gabby, good morning. Vanessa, good morning. Good morning, Beth. Hey, Marlena. Or is it Marlene? Hey, Marlene Anderson of Common Collective. Thank you again for that. Also, thank you so much for gifting those 5 memberships. I appreciate you. I don't know if you guys pay attention to my community wall, but you should, because I communicate a lot on my community wall. Everything's not super important. Sometimes I just put a status here or there. I did put on my community wall yesterday that I will be holding a panel on Saturday. I didn't put what time yet because I haven't figured out what time yet. Y'all know my schedule is kind of busy, so I got to figure out what time I want to go live on Saturday, but it's going to be in the PM hours. Okay, so probably around 7 or 8. I'm going to be holding a members only panel where we're going to be discussing everything about this Romika Meeks case, including the facts, the conspiracies, everything. I want you guys to give me your opinion, what you guys think about the case, so on and so forth. So I will be holding a panel this Saturday between 7 or 8 p.m. y'all. Okay. So I want to say welcome to the membership Forever Blessed. And again, thank you so much, Common Collective. Welcome to the membership, Marlene Anderson. Welcome, Tanisha G. Welcome, Deanna. Welcome, Empress Awaken. Welcome. Thank you so much, Miss Smith, for that super and helping me reach my goal. Good morning, Jackie. Hey, Trini, Batty. Becca Cry came to live. Okay, so let's get into the case. So in the case of William J. Brock and Lo-Letha Hall, now this case happened about 2 years ago, you guys, where the gentleman, and I'm going to put a picture of him up on the screen. I should just go ahead and pull up this article so you can see his picture. This man is 83 years old, an 83-year-old Caucasian male. Okay, took the life of Miss Lo-Letha Hall. Also an older woman who was an Uber driver. Now, according to William J. Brock, he was receiving threatening phone calls from an anonymous person all morning on the day that he unalived Miss Lo-Letha Hall. Now, on that morning, he was receiving phone calls from an anonymous person saying that a family member of his was in jail and needed bond money. They were threatening him, and this older gentleman believed the threats, okay? He believed what the person was telling him on the phone. This person then told him that, now, I'm going to say this. I don't know how this man believed this. I do take his age into consideration because I wouldn't have believed it. First, they said that the family member needed bail money. He was incarcerated. They threatened to harm this family member. And then they demanded a ransom of some sort of $12,000. This older gentleman believed that his family member was actually being held for ransom of some sort, okay? And this person demanded that money be given to the person that comes to pick it up. Okay, I'm trying to make this as clear as possible because this is very weird. So after William J. Brock received these threatening phone calls about his family member, Mind you, he had been talking to this person, this scammer, on the phone all morning. And this has been verified by investigators and police that he really was receiving these phone calls. So later on in the day, Miss Lo-Letha Hall, who is an Uber driver, accepted. Hold on one second. Let me just check this really quick. Hold on. She accepted a job through Uber. If anybody's ever driven Uber, you know that you can accept certain assignments or whatever. She accepted a job through Uber. The job was for her to go pick up a package from William Brock's home. Mind you, Miss Hall does not know William J. Brock. These are two complete strangers, okay, who happen to be scammed by the same person or people. So the same people that contacted William J. Brock and said, you have a family member incarcerated, we need $12,000 from you, is the same person or people that then scheduled an Uber to go to his house to pick up to the $12,000 that they demanded from him. So Miss Hall accepts the job to go pick up the package from William Brock's home. Upon Miss Hall's arrival to Brock's home, he comes out of his home. She says, I'm here to pick up a package. He says, I know what you're here for. And he pulls out a firearm on her. He approaches her with the firearm. She immediately retreats, walks away from him. Let me say this really quick. Thank you for the membership. She be super. Thank you again, Calm and Collective, for purchasing those memberships. Welcome Forever Blessed. Did I already say this part? Or is this new? Okay, I already welcome my members. Okay. So she retreats immediately when he pulls out the firearm. William J. Brock follows her to her vehicle and demands to know who she is and who sent her, believing that Miss Lo-Letha Hall was in some way connected to the people who had been calling him all that morning. So Brock believed that Lo-Letha Hall was in on the scam because she came to pick up the package that the scammer demanded, the money that the scammer demanded. So instead of calling the police, instead of saying, hey, these people are demanding $12,000 from me, now someone is at my door to pick it up. Instead of doing that, he comes out of his home with a pistol. She retreats towards her car. He pews her in the leg and then tells her, she says, please stop, please stop. I can't play the video because it's too graphic, because there is a dash cam video. She says, please stop, please stop. He says, next, if you don't tell me who you are, next I'm going to pew you in the head. She says, please don't do it, please don't do it. He then takes Miss Hall's phone to where she can't leave because now he has her property. Okay, this is after he already pewed her once in the leg. Takes her phone and tries to, I guess, keep it as evidence because in his mind, he believes that Lo-Letha Hall is the one who is in on this ransom or this threat. So he takes her phone as she's retreating, trying to get back into her vehicle. At this point, she hasn't threatened him one time. She has not approached him aggressively. She is clearly confused as to what is going on. Now, William Brock, in his mind, at this point, he has not connected the dots. He even asked her who she was, and she said, I'm an Uber driver. In his mind, he has still not connected the dots that, oh, maybe we're both being scammed here. Maybe I should call the police. William Brock proceeds, y'all. I can't with this case. I've been up all damn night, and it's crazy, but I've been up all damn night looking at this because it's unbelievable. He proceeds to pew Lo-Letha Hall 6 times. eventually taking her life. So now she's deceased. I did watch the body cam, and I'm going to play a little bit of that. The body cam footage where Brock explains what happened to the police. From what Brock said to the police ended up putting 2 and 2 together like, oh, looks like you both got scammed. And I don't know what's going to end up happening in this case. However, from the body language that the police were displaying, the way that they treated Mr. Brock upon their arrival and during their investigation on the day of the unaliving, it seems like they may have some sympathy for Brock. They were rubbing his arm. I'm going to play the video for y'all. Now, the trial started on Monday, so I'm going to be following the trial. Now, the defense is saying that this was a big, sophisticated scam, and Mr. Brock was a victim of this scam. So he should not be punished for being scammed. And I know the FBI is involved. They're trying to figure out who this person or who these people were that were scamming these two people, to where one person, unfortunately, Miss Lo-Letha Hall, ended up losing her life. And at this point, they have not found the scammer. In my opinion, Mr. Brock needs to be in trouble for his reaction. I believe that. However, whoever set this up and is the cause of Miss Lo-Letha showing up at Mr. Brock's home also needs to be prosecuted. They also need to be on trial. They also need to be punished, because if it weren't for that scammer, she would have never been there. Brock would have never thought that he was being extorted or threatened, or his life was in danger, or his family's life was in danger. And then this all could have been avoided, and he wouldn't have reacted the way he did. So the defense is focused more on the scam. Now, the prosecution is focused more on the fact that his reaction was wrong. He pulled out a pistol on a woman who was retreating. He pew-pewed this woman several times, even after she identified herself. She tried to leave. He then took her cell phone. He would not allow her to leave the premises. So William Brock is being held on is being tried. As you can see in this picture, he has on his regular clothes. So he's out pre-trial. Okay, so he's not incarcerated at this point, from what I've researched. Thank you, Deanna. I appreciate you gifting that membership to Tanya Lewis. Thank you so much. So he is being charged with he has been charged with first-degree unaliving, felonious assault, and kidnapping. The prosecution is saying that his reaction to the events were wrong and unreasonable. The fact that she retreated, the fact that she tried to leave, he wouldn't allow her to leave. He pew-pewed her once, meaning that even if he did feel threatened by Miss Hall, after he pew-pewed her in the leg, that should have been enough to where he had her down, he could call the police and figure out whatever was going on later or moving forward. But he decided in that moment to take her life. So the prosecution is saying that regardless of the scam, he was wrong in his reaction, which I agree to that. I'm gonna look at y'all comments in a minute, but I completely agree. I think that he was wrong in his reaction. Why would you choose, even if the person was the scammer, why would you choose to unalive this person? I don't know what needs to happen in this country when it comes to these gun laws, but there needs to be stricter laws, stricter rules for being able to have a firearm. There needs to be more intense training. Maybe people over a certain age, if they've proven to be not as sharp as they once were, I'm trying to put it in, be as nice about it as possible. Maybe they shouldn't own a gun. Maybe if people are not able to make the correct decision in the event of emergency or a crime taking place, they shouldn't have a firearm, because for some reason in this country, we think that the right to bear arms means that we can just pew pew anybody whenever, however many times. It doesn't work that way. And I don't think that people understand. Now, I'm going to read this article. This case happened in Ohio. Before I read the article, I do want to go over some of my comments. Welcome. Thank you, Deanna. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for getting me closer to reaching my goal. I just need one more and boom, I'm done for my goal for the day. Hey, Roz, welcome in. Teresa said he was very wrong, and he was very wrong in his reaction. Should the scammer also be on trial? Absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. I'm trying to figure out how they weren't able to find the scammer yet. They were able to find what phone company they called from and where they called from. Apparently, they called from Canada. Now, I don't know if they were able to manipulate the technology and make it seem like they were in Canada. I've heard some rumors that think that whoever called him was a family member of his. I don't know how true that is. But they were able to track it down to Canada. So wherever the call came, the call allegedly came from Canada. Good morning, Belinda. Let's see. Black Pierre said he is an old racist that wanted to do that. I think that race is going to be the issue too, because I wouldn't be being transparent if I didn't say that I also took that into consideration. And I also question myself, would he or would he not have reacted the same way if this was a white Uber driver? If this was a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Uber driver, would he have reacted the same? Some people say no. Some people say yes, because according to him, he was under the impression that this Uber driver was connected to the threatening phone calls. If I'm giving my opinion on that, I don't want to hop immediately to race, even though that may have also played a big role. But I do think that 9 times out of 10, he may have reacted the same way. Because if you actually go, I can't play it on my live stream because it's graphic, but if you go and watch the dash cam video, because Miss Lo-Letha had a dash cam in her car. So when she pulled up in his driveway, all of this happened in front of her vehicle. So he immediately pulled the pistol out and was accusing her. He said, I know who you are. I know what you want. What are you doing here? Like, he was immediately defensive. So I don't know. I think maybe he possibly would have reacted the same. Thank you, Marlene. And thank you, Comment Collective, for helping me reach my goal today. Thank you to everyone for that. Miss Smith says, I think he's going to jail for not. That's it. I think so too. I don't know what makes people think because they are licensed to carry or have a FOIA card, you know, and they have a right to protect their home, that they can just pull out a weapon and pew pew somebody, especially if they have the opportunity to call the police. It's the same. What he did is the same as if somebody were to come to your home and break in, but as soon as you pull out a weapon and they turn around and run away, if you chase that person down the street, instead of saying, okay, they're gone, the threat has been eliminated, let me call the police, let them know what happened, moving forward. It's not your job as an American citizen to be a bounty hunter, to run and chase somebody. This is not the justice system in America is not based on being a vigilante. You have to call the proper authorities. I don't think that people understand that. Because it's now no longer you protecting yourself. It's now more about you seeking vengeance, you know, and what people don't understand is that it doesn't work like that. Welcome in, Gossip and Giggles. I want to get into this really quick. So this right here, this gentleman here on the screen is the defense attorney for Brock. Okay, John Paul Ryan. So let's just go over really quickly this article, and I do want to play a video for you all. I should have pulled it up before I went live, but it's the dash cam video. unaliving trial, and this was published on Springfield News Sun. I give credit to the article, and then also was published on January 12th. Again, the actual trial started on Monday. So an unaliving trial is underway for an elderly man. Let me ask y'all something before I finish this. Do you all think that his age, I'm gonna put race to the side for a moment. Do you all think that the fact that he's 83 years old will have an effect on the outcome of this case, whether or not he'll be charged or not charged, or maybe he won't get the murder charge, but he'll get something of a lesser charge, maybe home confinement or something, because he's 83 years old and because of the circumstances of the third party meaning the actual scammer. So I want to see what you guys think about that in the chat. So unaliving trial is underway for an elderly man who admitted he fatally pew-pewed an Uber driver nearly 2 years ago because he reportedly believed she was trying to rob him after scammers deceived them both. William J. Brock, 83, is charged in Clark County Common Pleas Court with 3 counts of unaliving and single counts of felonious assault and kidnapping in the unaliving of 61-year-old Lo-Letha Hall of Dublin in suburban Columbus. She was fatally pew-pewed around 11:20 a.m. March 25th of 2024 in the driveway of Brock's house in the 7,000 block of South Charleston Clifton Road in Madison. She was flown to Kettering Health main campus where she died in surgery. This is so sad. And I'm gonna show you guys a picture of Miss Lo-Letha in a moment. She's on my thumbnail as well. So I just want to say justice for her, because even though there was a third, before I continue reading, even though there was a third party and Mr. Brock was unaware that she was not involved, she still deserves justice, because no matter how old we are, we all, especially as people, a person who is the owner of a firearm, you have a responsibility to know how to use it and when to use it. So she deserves justice, even if they never find the third party scammer. Okay, so this is the prosecutor here. His name is Kadani Scott. Okay. During arguments on Monday, in Judge Douglas his last name is hard to pronounce. Rassiter. I'm gonna call him Rassiter. In Judge Douglas Rassiter's courtroom, Assistant Clark County Prosecutor Kadani Scott told jurors that Brock prevented her from leaving and fired 6 rounds at Hall, who presented no harm or immediate danger to him. Objectively, a reasonable person, now this is what Kadani is saying, the prosecution, objectively, a reasonable person would not shoot a defenseless woman multiple times to protect themselves from words of a scammer, Scott said. The act doesn't justify the act of taking a life of another because words scared him. This is what Kadani is asking. Defense attorney John Paul Ryan told jurors during his opening statements that Brock was the victim of a sophisticated, possibly international organized crime ring under investigation by the FBI, in which his and his family's lives were threatened. The morning of March 25th, sorry, I have to take a drink of my water. The morning of March 25th, Brock received a call from a person claiming to be a lawyer for the grandson of a friend who needed $12,000 cash for bail after he was involved in a crash with his truck that unalived a pregnant woman, Ryan said. Brock believed the story and got the cash he was supposed to give to a woman they identified as Hall in a black sedan at the courthouse, Ryan said. Let me stop it here. The reason why this was so believable to William J. Brock is because they knew who his family member was. Then they also described Miss Hall before she pulled up and described her vehicle, which convinced William Brock that this is the person that is connected with the scammer, because how would they know what she looks like and what her car looks like? Remember, he's 83 years old, so he does not know how the Uber app works. Most people who are tech savvy or who use apps like this, we know that when we order an Uber, it shows us a picture of the Uber driver. It shows us a picture of their vehicle, and it even gives us their license plate. So that's the reason why the scammer was able to describe what Lo-Letha looked like and who she was and what her car looked like before she pulled up. Brock did not realize this. Brock is thinking because they were able to describe Lo-Letha's vehicle and describe Lo-Letha that they must have been working together. This is crazy. This is crazy. And you know, let me continue. So Brock believed the story and got the cash he was supposed to give to a woman they identified as Hall in a black sedan at the courthouse, Ryan said. In further calls, Brock also spoke with someone claiming to be a judge during a call in which Brock talked to the person claiming to be the grandson. He asked for his last name and type of truck he drives. The man on the line provided close but not accurate answers. Okay, meaning that the man on the phone tried to describe his grandson but wasn't really able to. However, he was able to describe Hall. Okay, so this is where it really changed, Ryan said. Okay, so this is the defense speaking again. At that point, the phone gets handed to someone else. And this person starts screaming at Brock, threatening to unalive him, threatening to unalive everyone in his family, and saying the black car is now in your driveway. We have drones above your property watching. So the scammers told this 83-year-old man, William Brock, that they had drones above his house watching him. And they also knew when Lo-Letha Hall pulled up into Brock's driveway and that she was waiting. Brock is not realizing. Let me just explain this. They got this elderly gentleman because he's not aware of how this technology works. Of course, the scammer would know when Lo-Letha pulled up in his driveway, what her car looks like, what she looks like, because he's the one that ordered it. But the scammer's the one that ordered the Uber. But what I'm trying to figure out is how is the FBI not able to track down who ordered that Uber? Wouldn't you think that Uber has the technology to be able to track down who ordered the Uber, where it came from? Sorry, y'all. I would think so. I would think that Uber would have the technology to be able to track down where this Uber was requested from. So I just don't understand this. So Brock is now afraid because the scammers are on the phone and they said that Lo-Letha, it has now pulled up in your driveway. They're demanding that Brock go give Lo-Letha the money and says that they are watching him. Okay. So the person on the line then told Brock that he would send someone to unalive him if he didn't receive a call from Hall that she had the money. When Hall got out of the black Acura sedan, she walked through a breezeway marked no trespassing to the back porch and through a storm door that was slightly ajar into an office space and told Brock, "I'm here for the package." Lord have mercy. Ryan said this was confirmation for Brock that she was part of the scam. She very well may be a completely innocent victim. He said she was an innocent victim. She was not a part of the scam. They both got scammed. But Brock ended up acting, his response was not within legal guidelines. I'll put it that way. But there are some facts that don't make sense, he added, including that the scammer seemed to have her information before contacting Brock. and then she was coming from the Columbus area. Duh, his attorney isn't that smart. Of course, they would know where she was coming from, how far she was, and what she was driving, because the app tells you that. Brock approached Hall with a .22 caliber pistol and demanded she give him her cell phone, which Ryan said was to buy him some time to prevent her from making that call. Back to the scammers, okay? A dash cam video from Hall's car shows her walking backwards, yelling for help, as Brock said he would shoot her in the leg if she did not give him her phone. He then shot her in the leg and reportedly tried to prevent her from leaving. At one point during a scuffle, she closed the car door on his head, which led Brock to suffer lacerations requiring stitches to his head and ear before he pew-pewed her further times. Brock called 911 after pew-pewing Hall multiple times. In the call played for the jury, Brock admitted he was the shooter, as he was talking to a dispatcher about the shooting scam. Hall could be heard in the background saying, help me, please. So the police dispatcher could hear Lo-Letha in the background screaming for help. Okay, at this point, he's already pew-pewed her, but Hall is still alive. Clark County Sheriff Sergeant Denise Jones testified that she responded to the shooting to assist investigators. She took photos of Hall that showed at least 4 pew-pew wounds, including those to her leg, sternum, and midsection. She also testified that she had to convince Brock to get his injuries treated. At the hospital, Ryan said a CT scan revealed brain atrophy and a condition that affects the ability to process information that can happen as a person ages. So now, as you can see, the defense attorney is going to be using Brock's age into consideration. Now, I don't know, and I'm not using it as an excuse for him, but this is what his attorney is saying. Now, what I want to say is, I know that as people get older, sometimes they do suffer sometimes with making the right decisions. Sometimes their brain is affected as they get older. We know that people suffer from debilitating disorders like Alzheimer's and things like that. They can make people more aggressive. It can make them wander off, make them forget things, and just not act in the way that they should. And that makes me wonder why he was still in possession of a pew-pew, and where's his family, and why did they allow him to even have one if he's suffering from this debilitating disease, or if something is going on with his brain. Now, is saying here that allegedly this was proven through a CT scan. So medically, it is true that Brock is suffering from some sort of debilitating disorder with his brain due to age. So I guess age will be playing a part. That is going to be a part of the defense here. So the scammers called 20 times following the pew-pewing. Now I'm going to show y'all a video of the police actually talking to the scammers, y'all. Okay, so who is this? Hold on, y'all. Okay. Apparently, the scammers called 20 times following the pew-pewing, the defense attorney said, apparently wanting to know what was going on. A detective who answered at one point reportedly was bullied into giving information and told the scammer that Brock was speaking to law enforcement officers. In addition, the defense attorney said that the threat is ongoing. On December 16th of 2024, now remember this incident happened in March of 20. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm not saying something wrong. Hold on. Yes, it is. So this incident happened in March of 2024. Okay. So it said December 16th, 2024, an email was sent to his office. And this is what the defense attorney is saying. Reportedly from the scammer, saying that he would be glad to take his life if he wins this case. This is a photo here, and I can't play the video because it's just too much. This is a photo here of Brock approaching Lo-Letha. By this point, because I did watch the video, he's already pew-pewed her in the leg, but she's still able to walk, and she was retreating to her vehicle. She was explaining to him who she was. She was saying, leave me alone. As you can see, he's approaching her. She's walking backwards, trying to go back towards her vehicle. This is what's going to get him, because she tried to retreat. Okay. So she tried to retreat. Now Brock is still free on a $20,000 bond. So he's still free. He's not incarcerated. He's home, pending the decision of the court. So I do want to play a video. I should have done this before I went live, but I wasn't thinking. I watched the video last night when I was kind of researching this story. Let me let y'all see this video of the body cam footage from where one of the police officers, the responding officers, came on the scene after the crime, the unaliving, and was able to speak with the scammers. So give me 1 second. Is this the one? I'm gonna play this one. I think this might be it. Okay, here it is. I'm just gonna play a small portion. Okay. Hey, Creisha, welcome in, boo. Hey, Miss Lasandra, welcome in. Hey, everybody that came in that I didn't see while I was talking. I want to pull up this video. So this is just a portion of the body cam footage. And I'm going to play a little bit of the beginning. Let me see. Oh, was he found guilty already? I got to look. The trial just started today. They found him guilty already? Hold on. I'm going to play this video in a moment, but let me see. Let's see. If that's the case. Oh, you're right. He was found guilty yesterday. So they just found him guilty yesterday. But let me play this body cam footage really quick. If that's the case, we got another live to do. Hold on. So let's play this really quick. And then I'm going to get into, that was a short ass trial. It started Monday and he was found guilty yesterday. Because it says from what I didn't do too much searching, but from what I just pulled up, it says that he was found guilty yesterday.
A detective picked up the call.
May I ask you who I'm talking to?
Listen to this, y'all. This is the scammer. Listen to this. Hold on.
Yes, this is the officer speaking.
Okay, what officer?
Yes.
No, I need to know what officer, sir.
You're going to be in trouble.
Okay. Let me ask you this. The female you sent over here, you know who she is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, she's been in an accident. And this is actually an officer. It's Detective Cruz with the Clark County Sheriff's Office.
He hangs up, but calls back as the sinister plot unravels.
Did you hear that? He told her she's going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. Yeah, I see. So he was found guilty. So I see that he was found guilty yesterday. Somebody in the chat says he was found guilty 4 hours ago, but I see that he was just found guilty yesterday. So I don't know. So we're going to move forward then to another article. I'm looking up while we're live streaming. Sometimes updates happen. Okay, while you're live, we're going to look up an update and see. We know that he was initially charged with 3 counts of unaliving, felonious assault, and kidnapping. But let me finish playing this and then we're going to, damn, that was a short ass trial. The trial started on Monday. But I guess it wasn't too much to cover because at the end of the day, even though a third party was involved, you still can't do what he did. He approached this woman, followed her, prevented her from leaving. I want to know, okay, so he was charged, he was recently charged, found guilty on all charges. I want to know what his sentence is going to be. Remember, y'all, the man 83 years old.
Travels.
Is she okay?
No, she's not doing well.
What hospital is she
I'm
at?
not going to tell you that until you meet me.
Police say the suspected scammer agreed to meet them, but never showed up. Brock was arrested for murder. The Uber driver, Lo-Letha Hall, was remembered at this funeral service by her own.
That's sad, y'all. That's sad. So let's get into okay, so he was found guilty. So let me pull up an article really quick just to verify. I know that he was because I see it here, but I just want to pull up a official J. Brock. Found guilty on all charges. Okay. His sentence, it says here, okay. Thank you, chat. All right now. Okay, it says that his sentencing, okay, so I'll come back so we can cover what his fate will be. And that's not going to be until the 21st of this month. Okay, so it says jury finds Clark County man guilty of unaliving Uber driver. Oh my God. I wonder what was his reaction in court. Will they let us? Oh, maybe. Okay, let me see if I can find, because I know that Court TV has been covering it. They've been broadcasting it live. Let me see this comment. Robin Lott said the jury deliberated for only 2 hours. I think it was more so. This is more so of an open shut type of situation. Because when I tell you the way that hold on, let me play this, y'all. Let me see. This is his. Let's see. This is where they found him guilty. Hold on.
Common Police Court of Clark County, Ohio, State of Ohio, plaintiff versus William Brock defendant. Case number 24 CR 0278. Verdict form count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, William Brock, guilty of the murder of Lo-Letha Hall, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 2903.02A, as set forth in count 1 of the indictment. We further find the defendant did have a firearm on or about his person or under his control while committing the offense, and displayed it, brandished it, indicated that he possessed it or used it to facilitate the offense. This verdict form appears to be signed by all 12 members of the jury.
Do you see his reaction? Let me play it again. I just want to look at his reaction one more time. His attorney looks so defeated. But what did you think was going to happen, though?
Common Police Court of Clark County, Ohio, State of Ohio, plaintiff versus William Brock, defendant. Case number 24 CR 0278. Verdict form count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, William Brock, guilty of the murder of Lo-Letha Hall, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 2903.02.
Did you hold on, y'all? Wait a minute. I cannot pause this.
The defendant did have a firearm. Count 1 of the indictment. 2A.
I can't pause it. Let me turn it down. Do y'all see the reactions on the people's faces when he's found guilty? I don't know if that's his family or what, but I'm looking at this lady right here. She looked like, damn. You know, it's almost like they feel more sorry for him than the actual victim. And again, I think it's because of his age. But look at the reaction one more time. I'm looking at the people. I'm looking at everybody's reaction.
Your career is our priority. The only job-ready training program where 100%.
Common Police Court of Clark County, Ohio, State. Verdict form count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, William Brock, guilty of the murder of Lo-Letha Hall, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 2903.02A, as set forth in count 1 of the indictment.
How do y'all feel about this? I mean, how do y'all feel about this, y'all? Like, for just let's take race out of it for a minute. Let's take race out of it. And I want to say I got to be honest, y'all. I'm not happy about this, and I'm not happy about it because the woman who lost her life had to get justice for losing her life, had to, and deserved it. However, but what I'm not satisfied because I feel like whoever is the third person or the middleman here should also be in trouble. Whoever that middleman was, you set up a whole scam calling an elder person, confusing the shit out of them. They don't know how technology works. They don't know how you knew that. They don't know nothing about no Uber and all of that. You tricked this man. Yes, he did react wrong and he deserves to be punished, but I'm not satisfied with this because why hasn't the FBI been able to find who this third party person was? That person also needs to be punished because this person ruined, really, I'm gonna say I'm not taking any accountability away from Brock because he made the wrong choices. But keep into consideration also that the man was medically treated after his ear was hurt during an altercation with Hall. They did a CT scan to find that he does have a brain condition due to his age, which could be anything, Alzheimer's, whatever. It could be anything. And we know that those people don't always make the proper decisions. This third party, let me not use the wrong language. He messed up two people's lives. He got a woman unalive, and he got an 83-year-old man put in prison. Sentencing is coming. We don't know what his sentence is going to be, but he's been found guilty on 3 counts of murder, felonious assault, and kidnapping. Wow. So I believe that Brock most definitely, he needs to be punished. Ain't no other way around it. Yeah, he got a debilitating brain disorder. Yes, he's 83 years old, but unfortunately, he made that wrong decision to take somebody's life when it wasn't necessary. And he got to be punished for that. I just believe in justice. I believe in justice. So, I'm sorry that you got to be that way. And I understand that he's an old man, but I believe in justice and you have to make the right decisions. And I don't know if those are his family members sitting behind him. However, they look very disappointed, but I think that there should have been some responsibility from them as well as family due to his age. Hey, dad, hey, uncle, whoever he is to them. I don't think it's a good idea for him to own this firearm. He's getting up in age. I don't think so. There's a lot of things that could have and should have been done different. So unfortunately, it's a possibility he's going to spend the rest of his days in prison. We'll find out what his sentence is going to be on the 21st. But again, I'm not satisfied with this at all. They got to find the scammer. How do y'all feel? I feel like they got to find a scammer too now. They can't just put it on. Now he deserves his punishment, but they got to find the scammer, y'all. They got to find the scammer too. They can't just let the scammer go. Now they got him. He pulled the trigger. He's gonna be where he need to be, prison or whatever. But the scammer also need to be incarcerated because you set all of this shit up. How they just gonna let him go? They tracked him. They tracked him down to Canada. From last I heard, they were able to track the phone down to Canada. They tracked down the towers or whatever cell phone service he used. But they gotta find him. Now, I'm assuming that the FBI is still working on that. I just don't understand how in the world can you order an Uber and they're not able to track down where it came from. That's ridiculous. I don't understand that. Stella said the scammer probably sitting in the courtroom. A lot of people were saying that they think that the scammer was a family member. Now, I don't know how that's possible because these people are in Ohio. They track the call down to Canada. So I don't know how that would be possible, but our technology is crazy. It could be possible. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not going to be very satisfied until they find the scammer. I'm sure the FBI is still working on that, but they got to find him. I'm going to keep following this. We're going to come back to see what his sentence is, you guys. Shout out to my chat, because if it weren't for y'all, because when I went live, or when I was doing my research last night, it didn't show anywhere that he had been found guilty already. This trial started on Monday. So according to my chat, he was found guilty. I researched he was found guilty yesterday, but the chat is saying he was found guilty 4 hours ago. I don't know. So shout out to my chat for making me aware of that, because when I hit this live button, I'm thinking he's still on trial. So again, this was a very quick trial. Someone else in the chat said they only deliberated for, what was it, you guys, 2 hours, 3 hours? So they kind of already knew what there was no way around it, okay? It was open and shut. The man pulled out a weapon. The woman tried to retreat. He followed her, proceeded to take her phone, pew-pewed her 6 times. And she tried to type, this is a huge problem, bringing them to justice. Yeah, that's well, I'm gonna still keep my fingers crossed, because I want them to be prosecuted as well. So there you have it. That's my take on it. I believe that Brock received the sentence that he deserves. I mean, he's 83 years old, and some people may have sympathy for that. I don't even really like seeing an 83-year-old person go to prison, but I mean, you killed somebody. Now there's no age limit on justice. So I'm sorry that he was tricked by the scammer, but as a person that owns a weapon, he still had the responsibility to make the right choices, and he didn't. So he's where he needs to be. That's it. So I'm glad that Miss Lo-Letha Hall is receiving her justice. And can you tell us quick? You know what, Stella? I can't, because I can't run down everything again, because I'm on a time schedule this morning. However, you can rewind it and watch it from the beginning. It's a very, very crazy story. Very crazy story. I want to thank everybody that came and watched the live and contributed to the chat. And we bounced off of each other this morning. This is why I like going live versus posting videos, because the people that follow you, y'all also research and watch these stories too. So I probably would have never even known that they updated the case this morning or last night, and that he was found guilty if it weren't for y'all. So shout out to y'all. I'm gonna come back. So be looking forward to it. I'm going to be coming back on the 21st with an update, or not an update, but a reaction to his sentencing, to see what the state of Ohio will be sentencing him to. So I'll be coming back with an update on that. I'll be live later on today as well, around 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. with a little topic regarding the Meeks case. And I am going to be allowing people to come up and speak on the panel as well. That'll be later on tonight, Central Time. So again, make sure that you guys hit that like button before you leave. Thank you guys so much for contributing to the chat. And thank you, everybody, for helping me reach my goal this morning. Thank you to everyone who purchased the membership. Thank you to Common Collective for purchasing memberships for my supporters in the chat. So shout out to y'all. Again, for the members, we will be having a members only live this Saturday around 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be a panel, okay, regarding the Meeks case. Again, it's members only. So if you don't have your membership, go to my main page and click join, and it'll allow you to click purchase my membership from there. The membership is $3.99. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later on tonight. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, peace.
Oh, oh. lady. I got a lady. Hey, I got a lady. I got a lady. Hey, name is the upper echelon. She a debater, baby. She can give it to you straight, no chaser. She got the smarts. She got the heart. She got the heart. She got the confidence, baby. Baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidate.